In this lesson, we'll see how we can use the physical sunlight as a way of very quickly adding realistic outdoor lighting to our scene. Now, if you open up the start file for this particular project and hit render, you'll notice that we have just this very simple cityscape set up. And what we want to do is use the physical sunlight to start to add a much greater depth of realism to this. So let's take a look inside the Hypershade. Now, this physical sunlight can be found inside the mental ray nodes. And if we scroll down, it can be found inside the mental ray lights, along with all of the other mental ray light types. Now, just like all the other mental ray light types, this physical sun can be connected to any other Maya light. Now, rather than just using the physical sun by itself, what we can actually do is take a look up inside the render settings, and we can use a quick preset to add in a physical sun as well as a physical sky. So let's go over to the Indirect Lighting tab, which is where this is found in Maya 2009. And if we take a look under Physical Sun and Sky, we can just click Create. Now, this will do a couple of things for us. It will automatically create a light, which is this directional light. It will automatically connect in the physical sun, which is what we can see right here. Now, if we take a look inside the mental ray pull-down menu for this directional light, scroll down, you can see that the physical sun has automatically been connected into the light shader. So let's just take a quick render at what we have now. If we save what we have for comparison and re-render, you'll see the procedure that we just went through has automatically set up an environment for us. It's automatically placed the sunlight so that we have some kind of directionality, and it's automatically enabled Final Gather. Now, in this lesson, we're just going to focus on this particular sunlight. Now, there are just a few attributes that control this. One of the things that is actually really nice about this sunlight is the fact that the environment will change based on the rotation. So right now, you can think of this directional light as controlling the direction that our sun is facing. So if we were to take this directional light and rotate it very heavily down to one side, we should now see the sun's rays coming in from a very sharp angle. Now, what's nice is this will automatically change the environment color to match something that's a little bit more toward an evening type of appearance. So by just rotating the light and not changing anything else, you can see how the color of the sun, light, and the color of the sky will automatically change to reflect this change in time. So by just rotating the light, we can start to get some very different results. Now, as I mentioned, within this sunlight, there are just a few attributes to be found. So if we take a look inside the physical sun, a lot of these attributes are being controlled by the physical sky, which we do have a specific lesson just for that if you want to learn more about these different attributes. What we do have control over is the shadow softness and the number of samples for those shadows. So if we were to orbit the camera down and take a look at one of these areas, maybe we can rotate this light so we can see the shadows fall a little bit better on this ground area. And you can begin to see those shadows right in here. Now, if we wanted these shadows to be a little bit softer, all we have to do is go into the shadow softness and begin increasing that. So let's raise this from a value of 1 to something like 5. And now you can start to see how our shadows are a little bit softer if you compare what we have now to what we had before. So this really starts to give us a little bit more the appearance of a shadow casting source that is much further away from the actual object that's receiving the shadows, which is what we would really see in real life. The further the object is, the more diffuse these shadows will become. So if you really need to create this illusion of size, this becomes a really easy way to do that. Now, if we want to start to eliminate some of the noise that we have in these shadowed areas, as we start to increase this softness, we can also begin increasing the samples. So we can increase this from a value of 8, and we can begin by increasing this to something like 20. Again, I'll save this for comparison and re-render. And you can see now how that can begin to eliminate some of the noise on these shadowed areas if you compare what we had before to what we have now. However, be aware that as you start to increase the sampling amount, that you will start to see an increase in your render time as well. So that's a look at the MIA Physical Skylight.